A lot of people have been asking me to make a video on how to learn how to drive stick. So Bree is going to be the one showing you guys how to drive stick in the S2000. She's going to go ahead and show you guys how to drive stick, and then I'll try to teach you guys how to drive stick as well, and see who you can learn from a little bit better. Bree's gonna show you guys how to drive stick. She's gonna walk you through all the steps, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys how to drive stick as well, and see who can teach you guys a little bit better and learn from two different people.
Go.
All right, you're good.
Okay, so I recently learned stick last year when I got my SI. I know some people literally have no idea what it is, so that's what I'm gonna try to explain. So this is your shift knob, where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some cars will have 5, some will have 10 if you're in the Fast and Furious series. So first I'm gonna start the car. To start a manual, you have to answer the key device. You have to push your foot all the way in. Some people will get confused and just barely push it in. No, you literally have to push it all the way in until you feel it like you can't go anymore. That's all the way in. And then you let off, but before you let off, you have to make sure this is neutral, because if it's in any gear and you let off, your car will stall. And it's not the worst thing in the world, but it doesn't feel nice. Like, you'll get scared, and if you're in front of people, they'll probably hear it too. Alright, so to start off, you use your right foot just like any automatic that you have. If you have an automatic, you have the accelerator and the brake. That you're just going to use your right foot for. And then this is where your left foot comes in. That one is going to be specifically for the clutch. You're going to take your brake off and put your foot in, all the way in again. Make sure it's like slammed in there. And then you're going to put your shift knob in first. And put it in first gear. So what you do, this is probably the hardest part in driving stick, is letting off first smoothly. It's really scary, and people will say it's easy, you'll get the hang of it, but honestly it's not easy. I'm gonna be straight up, it's not easy. Unless you just magically get it like that, then you're lucky. But for me, it was very, very difficult. And what you have to do is, let's pretend this is your accelerator and this is the clutch. So it's like a little game. You're just gonna be going like this. So you're gonna be letting off the clutch while also accelerating. And beginners will tend to want to push the accelerator in really fast, and your car will probably be like really loud because you're scared of stalling. So that's normal. If you do that, it's okay. It happened to me too. But that's what you're just gonna be practicing, like a smooth let off. You're gonna feel the car catch, and that's what people call the catch point. So it's when you just feel your car start driving smoothly, and that's because it catched and you got off smoothly. So I put my foot in all the way in and put it into first gear, like that. And then you have your foot ready to accelerate. And so you start letting off the clutch a little bit, and then you start pushing in the accelerator, and you'll feel the car move. So just keep practicing that. That's the biggest thing, having a smooth takeoff. And once you have that, honestly, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth are so easy. It's just first that's so annoying. So you could keep your foot in because you're still in first gear. So just brake. You're gonna be switching on and off like that. So I'm going, and then I feel the car catch, so I let off the clutch, and then I'm gonna put it all the way in again to go into second gear. And then you're gonna be doing the same thing. You're just gonna be going like that. Now into third, and do it as smooth as possible. When you're learning, I mean, you could do it smooth all the time, but when you're learning, it's really important, because if you let off the clutch really fast, your car will probably jerk a little. And I mean, no one really likes to feel that. And then what I also didn't know is, I was like, when do I was getting to 30. So it's he just said kind of follow the numbers. If you're like going 30 miles per hour plus third, if you're going into 40 miles per hour. So you just kind of keep going up as you're accelerating your car. And if you stay in the 30s, then stay in third gear. Don't keep going up. And your car will tell you too. It'll start making like you'll hear you'll hear
I do that shit all the time, trust me.
You're gonna hear the RPMs. And that's basically your car telling you, hey, shift. But once the RPMs are high, you hear and it kind of bugs you. You're like, so you know you have to shift.
No, what about coming to a complete stop and you're in gear?
Oh, that's right. So when you're coming to a stop and you know you have to stop, you're just gonna pop it in neutral. When I was learning, I would just keep my foot in the clutch and keep it at the gear I was in. And as soon as I stopped, I would put it in neutral. If that makes sense. So as soon as you know you're gonna stop, like you just have to stop, you just pop it in neutral.
And then when you pop it into neutral, you can let go of the clutch.
Yes. Just know that your car is in neutral. So if you do let off the brake, if the car is slightly on a slanted like street, it'll either roll down or roll forward. For people who drive automatic, rolling forward is not scary, but it's the rolling down that if you're not used to it, it'll scare you. That's another thing that was really hard for me. My car came with a brake hold where it holds your car for 2 seconds, and honestly those 2 seconds when you're learning stick are lifesavers. So that's why I say practice a lot in catching your clutch, getting to learn your car, because every car is different. And once you like find that catch point, even if you're on a hill, it'll be so easy, just because you're so confident and you know where your car catches, and you can do it so quick without accelerating too much or without just your car rolling back or you stalling. So I say that's the most important thing, just learning the catch point. And once you learn that, honestly, everything is so easy. You don't even think about it, you just do it. That's my biggest thing. One last thing from me is, no matter how many videos you watch on how to drive stick, yes, they will help, but most of the learning comes from yourself. I learned a lot more once I started driving, and just little things with your car too. Every car is different. So just learn the basics and don't worry about the rest, like downshifting, rev matching. All of that will just kind of come to you naturally. The first time I rev matched, I kind of just did it and I didn't realize I did it. So don't stress on those things. Like, I know some people really just want to learn it right away. For me, it took me like 5 months to just get completely comfortable with my car.
That's a lie. In like 2 months, she drove my car, my Z, with a stage 4 6-putt clutch and a lightweight flywheel. And it's literally one of the hardest cars to drive. I've driven so many stick-shift cars, and mine's by far the hardest car that I've driven still. And she drove it like nothing. You learned a lot faster than I did.
I was really determined to learn, also because it was the only car I had. So I knew I had 1 week till I had to trade in my other car that was an automatic. So in that 1 week after work, I would get out so late, like 11 or 12. I would just go and drive for like 2 hours, and honestly, that helps a lot. Any like time you have to go and just practice, go do it. And one thing that does help a lot, which is really scary, but it will help you, is being in traffic. Because you're basically just in first and second gear the whole time. That helped me a lot, just learning the catch point and shifting into first, second. Those are the hardest for anyone who's learning.
When I met Bree, it was when she was first learning how to drive stick, when she had just gotten her SI. I think I had slid into her DMs. I saw she had posted her SI that she got a new car, so I wanted to just have something to conversate about, so I congratulated her. And then I remember messaging her, and she would be telling me that she was like out driving, learning how to drive her car, and it was like past midnight. It was probably the best best time to go learn is at night when there's no one on the road. So you can actually like, you can drive like on a lonely road and learn there, and then after that maybe like at midnight or late at night when there's no traffic, go out and learn with a little bit of traffic, you know, a little bit of cars stopping at street lights, just to get the feel of driving it on the actual streets than just like some side street.
Yeah, because when you're learning, you have to focus on the car. Like if you try to learn with the traffic around you, you're gonna get distracted. You're just gonna be focused on, oh, like, do I look stupid or am I doing it right? And you're not really paying attention to the car. So do it when there's no distractions and when you know you're just alone and you're not worrying about other people if they're looking at you or if you look dumb or whatever it is. It's really cool to learn stick. It's one of the best things. I never thought in my life I would ever need to learn it. I thought, honestly, like, I thought it was just a guy thing, but it's not. It's such a, it really comes in handy just knowing you know that extra thing that a lot of people don't know, and it's so fun. I don't think I would ever go back to driving an automatic, not because it's not cool or what people think it's like not that fun, but it just makes my car so much more fun, and I enjoy it. I love driving my car, even though it's not a fast car. You just really connect with your car. It's a really good feeling. I love it.
All right, now I'm gonna show you guys how I learned and try to teach you guys how to drive stick. Huh?
Are you handing me the camera?
No, I'll hand it to you right here. So the first time I was trying to learn how to drive stick, I was learning in a Ford Focus, an old car. It was my brother-in-law's car. He was trying to teach me, and it was only down the street from the house. He just taught me how to go from the park and home. And when I left the parking lot, I was in first gear, and I like gave it way too much gas and like peeled out because I pretty much popped the clutch. What that means is you give it so much gas, and then you just let go of the clutch so fast because you panic. And then that's when you start burning out. And then I went pretty much just half a mile home, and I did such a terrible job. It was like really bad, and that was it. And then after that, I didn't drive stick ever again. It was just one time. And then I went to go trade in my G35 Coupe for a BRZ. It was a 2016 or 2017 limited edition BRZ, and that was my first stick shift car because my G35 Coupe was automatic. And I traded in my G35 Coupe, and the reason I traded that in is because I really wanted to stick shift, and I wanted a newer car, I guess, with lower miles. So I picked up that car, and the guy was like, "Do you know how to drive stick?" And I was like, "No." And he like gave me like a quick lesson, and you could tell when he was like trying to teach me, he was like, "Damn, like this kid's, you screwed." I had to drive an hour and a half home, and it was during traffic hour. It was about like 5 p.m. So when I was going home, I didn't stall once on the freeway or anywhere at all until I got home. I finally stalled. But on the freeway, when I got on, there was a car accident. So I was in first gear for about 1 hour straight, which is the hardest gear. So I was just burning the clutch the entire time. I stayed all the way to the left lane, so in case I stalled, I can like move out of traffic. I was burning the clutch because I was giving it so much gas because I didn't want the car to stall, because I knew if I gave it too little and I let go of the clutch at the wrong time, I would stall. So I was giving it so much gas, I could smell the clutch burning. Like it was really bad. It took me about like 2 months, I would say, to get used to how to drive stick. Like I remember texting my friend and asking him like, "Hey, like how long did it take you to drive stick without having to think of when to shift?" Because like for me, like I was getting kind of frustrated because I had to think of when to shift or what gear to go into, and like I had to look at the stick shift, make sure I was going into the right gear, you know, like I wasn't used to it still. So I texted him and he was like, "It took me like 2 months." And I was like, "Dude, I'm already like 2 months in. I still like, I don't feel fully comfortable with the car." So it takes some time. So don't get scared. Don't feel like you're never gonna learn, or because that's kind of how I felt. I was like, dude, like I'm never gonna learn how to actually drive it without like, you know, not paying attention. It's kind of like now it's just so natural. You drive it like it's an automatic. Like some people say like, "Oh, driving in traffic, it's so annoying," or this and that. But honestly, when you drive stick for such a long time and you're in traffic, you don't even really think about it. It's kind of like an automatic, like you're just going in gear, and it's like you kind of get used to it unless you're really paying attention to it, or you have like a really heavy clutch. Then you'll probably get kind of annoyed of it. But what you want to do is you want to go into first gear when you're at a complete stop. The only time you need to be on the clutch is if your car is in gear. Like right now my car's in gear in first gear. You want your foot to be on the clutch. Don't let go. The only time you can let go of the clutch is when your car is in neutral. And how you can tell if your car's in neutral, it'll be in the center and you'll be able to wiggle it side to side. Foot on the clutch all the way down. You want to use your right leg to hold the brake. I always hold the brake when I'm in first gear about to leave a parking lot or anywhere. Even if it's a flat surface, my foot is always on the brake. Like I don't have to be on the brake, but I just feel safer being on the brake, knowing that, you know, I'm not gonna be rolling back or anything like that. So this is how I learned. Rev your car all the way, hold it at 2,000 RPMs. At 2,000 RPMs, slowly releasing the clutch. You're slowly releasing, give it gas, and don't let the RPM go under 1,000. So that's pretty much how I learned how to take off from first gear. Is you rev it to 2,000, keep it there, try to hold it there while releasing the clutch, because while you're taking your foot off the clutch slowly, the RPMs are gonna drop because it wants more gas. So just try to give it a little bit more gas and try to keep it at 2,000 RPMs while releasing the clutch. And then your car will most likely take off really smooth as long as you don't let go of the clutch really fast. Just let go of the clutch really slow. Don't feel rushed, even if you're at a light. If you guys want to learn how to rev match, that's like a whole different story. So you have to blip the throttle. So I'll show you guys. So I'm gonna put the clutch in, step on the gas, and try to match the RPM that it's gonna go into when I downshift. So say I downshift right now, I'm in 6th gear. You're gonna see the RPM go higher right now. Like, see it went higher again. Now you want to rev match and make sure you match the RPM perfect, because if you don't, watch, I'm not gonna give enough gas, like, and then it'll jerk because you didn't match the RPM right. When you give it gas, you didn't blip it enough to give it enough gas for the RPM to go up, you know. Here, I'll show you guys the foot. This is how you rev match. Here, go into 4th gear, and then I'm gonna rev match into 3rd gear. And then say you're rolling, your car's in neutral, and you need to put it into gear, and you don't know what gear to put it into. Say I'm going 11 miles an hour, you don't want to put it into 1st gear at that speed, because that's a little too high unless you know how to rev match. But if you just want to put it into 1st gear, like, it'll kind of jerk a little bit. Not right there because I was already going slow enough, but say if you're going like higher than 13 miles an hour, and you're rolling, you're neutral, and you need to put it into gear, I would put it into 2nd, give it a little bit of gas, and it'll take off smoother. All right, I'll try to show you guys how I let off from 1st gear if you're taking off. Clutch all the way in, put it into 1st, and then give it some gas while letting go of the clutch slowly. Once you feel a catch, you can let go of the clutch. You're going to a stop, clutch in, put it in neutral, and then you can let go of the clutch because the car's in neutral. I can show you guys what it would be like if I let go of the clutch while it's in gear, but that'll probably hurt the transmission, and I really don't want to do that. Some cars like jerk, and like my Z, if you do that, it'll literally feel like you hit a brick wall. Clutch, I'll show you right now. I'm gonna let go of the clutch while it's in gear. That felt really bad. I
didn't know you were actually gonna stall.
I can't believe I just did that. You don't want to do that when you're in traffic. So you gotta start the car again. I'll probably never do that again to the S2000. So if you're watching this and you guys are mad at me, I'm just trying to show you guys what it does. This normally isn't a type of video that I make, but a lot of people requested it. I hope this helped some of you guys. If it did, give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys in the next video.